Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosalie. Welcome to today's client product update webinar, where we will be presenting version 50.8. I'm Rosalie, your host for today. And joining me as well, we have Yannick. Hi, Yannick.
Hi, Rosalie. Happy to be back. A lot of things to show again today.
Yes, I'll let a couple of people come in. Shall we go to the next slide? Yeah, perfect. So we have myself, Yannick, as always, and today we have Natalie that will be in the chat, our change advisor. She will be answering your question in the chat and Q&A, and you must be familiar with her by now. Perfect. And as always, to be a great webinar participant, just participate in our polls, use the React button, and drop your question in the Q&A or chat. So let's get warmed up with a little poll. As always, we are curious to know who's joining us. So is this your first client webinar? Yes. No, I'm a regular. No, I've been to a couple. And I love it. We always have a couple of new faces. So welcome if this is your first time, hopefully not your last. All right, let's have a look at our agenda for today. Perfect. So last month we covered version 50.7, which wasn't as robust, but we used the rest of the time to talk about AI, and we will do that again today. This month we present to you version 50.8. That was released last week, so Monday, October 27th. And we'll talk about major features, improvement for that version, a couple of minor improvement and fixes, and we'll finish with what's in our roadmap for 50.9. All right, and release note upgrade consideration. So as always, you can find our release notes in our community and scroll through that after the webinar. For this release, important, I do the little flasher, very important. There are 3 upgrade considerations: client project transpose, my timesheet calendar integration, and the QuickBook. So those 3 will come back to them during the demo with Yannick, but just keep that in mind that you need to do little things to have access to those features if you upgrade. All right, let's move on to our next slide.
You want to close the poll maybe, Rosalie, as well?
Yeah, right. Good point. All right.
Good. Today.
We're going to touch upon 3 of our interfaces today. So my timesheet, project management, and finance. So we'll look at my timesheet. We made it look better and a bit more functional for our Google Calendar users. Then we'll dive into project management. We'll talk about project transpose. That's a very exciting one. And a couple of tweaks we did to the workspace. And then finally, we'll talk a little bit about QuickBooks. So shall we get started with our demo portion of the webinar, Yannick?
Yes, absolutely. And stay till the end, because at the end we're introducing somebody new in the team. So we're looking forward to that last bit as well. So let's start with my timesheet. So in my timesheet, we've introduced a new fresher look and a smarter indicator to help you to make sure that you stay on track in terms of your timing. So just from the get-go, you can see that we have a little revamp in terms of the UI of the timesheet. Just give me a sec. I'm gonna change. Here you go. So a lot cleaner, a lot simpler, but also you can see there's some coloring. There's some color now. And here, for example, you can see for Monday, I was targeting 8 hours. I'm on the green because it's aligned with my schedule. Every project resource in client has a work schedule. So this one is aligned. This one is a bit lower, and for Wednesday, I'm aligned as well. But let's say I'm logging an additional hour here and I'm bringing this to 9, it's going to become red. Some people might argue that if you work more than you're supposedly, it might not be red, maybe a green. So in the next release, we're going to introduce you that you're going to be able to change the color coding for those. For now, it's red. When you're over, it follows the out-of-the-box color coding of our utilization. So over, usually it's red in our utilization coding. And let's say I'm adding another 8 hours here for Thursday and I'm saving. You're going to see that the top portion now is going to be updated and the color coding will also change, because on save, we recalculate your total utilization and your logged hours and what is your targeted bill rate. And then we change the color coding in regards of that. So Green, you're going to be spot on, yellow under, and red over. This is going to be configurable as well. And one feature that we're going to add on the next release will be to calculate it live in terms of which day we are during the week. Because you could say that now at this point in time, I'm in green because Friday, it's tomorrow. It's normal at 0, so I should be green. So now we just take the total and the next release or the release after, it's going to change based on the number of hours depending on the day. Make sense? Forgetting anything here, Rosalie?
No, it reminds me of when we added all the colors to the workspace, was a bit the same concept. So hopefully people like it. Yeah, really fun one. And yeah, I think one that's really related to that now that you're in the timesheet is talking about the Google Calendar integration, Yannick.
Yes. Yes, and it's not over in terms of revamping it. So the next release has a lot of improvement as well on the timesheet. So you will see in our next webinar. So another exciting feature, we've talked about the calendar sync with Salesforce the other time, but now we also sync with Google. So if you put on the calendar view in your My Timesheet and you're adding this and let me just remove my Google Calendar, and now you have an add button. So you're going to be able to add a new component. So this one is going to be a link to Google Calendar. You can go ahead, it's secure and trusted, so you can go ahead and proceed with the signing. And when it's going to resume, it's going to refresh my page, and you'll see that now I have all my calendar events that are being back into client for me to be able to log those into my timesheet. So now we're currently doing that webinar. So let's say I'm going to spend an hour and a half with the prep and everything on that webinar. I can pick up my project that I want to log this into, my task, and then add it. It's going to turn yellow because it's been added in here with the description of the same title as my calendar event was. And when I'm saving, now it's going to turn green. Same for the line above, so turn green. And one other improvement that we did is that if you hover and click, or if you hover or click on top of this, you're gonna have a lot more details now in terms of where it's been saved, and you have even a link to your timesheet details if you need to go granular. This being said, it is accessible here on top as your new line that has been added. So this is the configuration of Google Calendar. The next release or the release after, we're gonna have the Microsoft Outlook. So before the end of the year, we're gonna also have Outlook connection.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm seeing there's a couple of chat about it. I think people are interested. Yeah, asking as well about the Microsoft. I don't think that one is on the roadmap just yet, but
it is now. It's gonna be completed before the end of the year. So we're gonna have it, and we have 2 release left. One that's gonna be next week, I believe, or the week after, and then one just before the Christmas break or the New Year. So.
Yeah, and someone is asking, I think it's still related, if the meetings can automatically be added to the timesheet. I don't think we're there yet, but
Not yet, but this is also one of the time agent, like the AI agent. Even select which project and task should be selected. The AI agent has a better success potential of adding it, so you can look at who's the attendees and then try to figure it out. So the AI is going to do some part of it. So this is our time agent that we're going to also talk about a little bit later.
Eventually, yep. Perfect. And I think there's the upgrade consideration for that one, Yannick, that's pretty important, right?
Let me just go back. So the upgrade consideration for the calendar, yes, and the pop-up improvement mainly for the calendar. So there's 2 things at this point in time. So first, you need to go, one admin in your company need to go do and add a remote site settings for the connection. So this is mandatory. So if you don't do this, then your user won't be able to connect to Google Calendar, meaning that if you don't want to enable that feature, just don't do that. If you want to enable it, then you need to do this. And at this point in time for this release, you need to send us the information. So you need to send us a support ticket with the information below. This is not going to be necessary in the release before the break as well. So, but at this point, if you want to use that functionality, you need to send us a ticket so we can make some backend change. But again, if you wait until the end of the year, you won't have to do that.
Perfect. Let's move on to our next topic, project management. So specifically the project transpose. I just wanted to do a quick poll about this one before we move forward. Out of curiosity, we're curious to know how often do you need to shift an entire project timeline? Rarely, monthly, weekly, every day? Because this is what this this functionality is about. So we're curious to know how. Great. Okay. So it looks like
The key thing is that you said entire project, right, for this one?
yeah. Because I imagine if I said if you need to change like any dates of any task, then everybody's gonna say every day. But yeah, so we have the people say rarely, and then the rest monthly, weekly, some every day. So we're all over the place here.
And I'm gonna talk about one specific use case that happened quite often, and this is one of the main reason why we released that added functionality, and it's usually linked with the sales process.
Yep.
So this is a Salesforce opportunity that we're looking at, and during that sales process, during the negotiation review, even sometimes during the proposal price quote stage, our customer would create projects, either create them automatically based on the type or the product in the opportunity, but also they might just create them manually to do some estimation. And you know that when you're using a project for estimation and planning, you spend a lot of time aligning dates and time and timeline and properly setting up as well some utilization so you can really track your future usage. But then what quite often happen is that the sales guy is telling you that it's going to close tomorrow, but actually no, it's going to be postponed for at least a month if it's not two. So in December. So that in this case, in the past, what you had to do is that when you had a proper setup like this, you could just change the date and move it around. So let me just move it a little bit. Or you could have selected several tasks and moved them, but this was a bit messy and it cannot be automated in the past. So now what you have is that you have access to our new interface to change this. And I'm going to show you two ways of doing it. So first, let's open up the project and look at the new button that if you want to have that button, you need to add it in your page layout, but you have a new button, Transpose Project. And it's going to bring that interface that's going to ask you, what do you want to do? Transpose the entire project or transpose from a specific task. So all the child of the task. So for example, if I want to move all my workshop and all the days within my workshop, I could select this and then decide if I want to transpose to a specific date or by a certain number of days. So, and then I could just save and it would do it. In our specific example, what we want to do is that we want to transpose the entire project to a specific date. So let's say I want to push it to December 1st. I'm going to save it. The system is going to say it's done. And then if I just refresh my page, you're going to see that everything has moved to December and my signature and everything followed. Okay, so that's if you want to use it manually. The real plus value and the automation part is to tie this with the change of date, right? So you don't have to go and press the button. So this is the real change. So let's say it changed again and now it's going to be just a January deal instead. So now if I just change the close date here, there's an automation. If you look at the date here, if I just save, then the date of the project will change and be aligned specifically at the date I've changed it. And again, if I open up my project, I'm looking at my Gantt, it's going to be changed for January start and everything has followed. So this is really useful, should save a ton of time to your project manager. It should provide you, and maybe this is even one reason that you were not creating your project before selling them, because there was too much maintenance to try to forecast. But with this now, you can absolutely forecast future revenue, future effort for all your resources and your utilization. So you should absolutely do it. Before I switch to the technical part on how to set it up, I don't know, Rosalie, is there anything else that
yeah, there's just a couple of questions. Someone's asking if it only works if you're using proposals.
No, not at all. It's and then this is the opportunity object, and the button is on the project object, and you can call, as you will see, it's a flow. that's calling in the background. So this is gonna be what I'm gonna show you in a sec. The flow I built this morning, that took me 2 minutes to do that change. So I'll show you this in a second.
And someone's asking if it only works if you have dependencies in your project or not.
No, that's the beauty of this one. Transpose really transpose everything. And it doesn't recalculate the rescheduling though. It's going to reschedule, but as is, it's not going to recalculate everything. You might need to do other operation on top, but it's really a transpose.
Perfect. Yeah, let's see what you built.
Okay, how do you set it up? It's you're gonna see it's very easy. So in the UI that I've shown you, it was asking a few questions, right? So it's gonna be pretty much the same thing in the flow. So it's the flow depending on your object. If you're using the proposal, it's gonna be on the proposal. If it's on the opportunity, you're gonna have a record triggered flow. And you need to look for the close date. So if the close date is changed, then something's gonna happen. So then we're gonna get the project that are linked to that opportunity. In this specific example, I did it very simple into a single project to transpose. And then you can just call our Apex action called transpose project, and then you pass the parameter. So the date method, you just need to write exactly the same text that you see in the help. So in this case, I want a specific date. I pass my project ID as text, then transpose type, again, the same text that I want. So the entire, not just specific task. The start date I want to pass based on the opportunity close date. And then the rest I can leave empty. I didn't need them. And that's it. And just with this, it's going to do that transpose. If you have multiple projects looking to your opportunity and perhaps you want to put some filtering, making sure that close one opportunity don't change, or that some opportunity don't change, you can just build the flow you want and you have access with our Apex H action called Transpose project.
I love it. I know so many customers as well had come up with some workaround that were kind of working, but this is great.
Yeah, and we were talking about flow, and you're gonna see later on we're coming back for a fun and interesting and learning trip at Dreamforce, the team, and for building flow. I'm gonna just talk about it in a second. There's new tools as well that's gonna allow you to build flow very easily, even if you're not a technical person. So stay tuned for that as well.
All
Okay,
right.
going back to the deck. I think the other two things were on the global workspace. So I did another toggle, and then just a simple help. That's going to be useful as well for knowing what you can do with our workspace. So in the global workspace, if I'm just filtering some of my project, you can see here I have a list of projects based on my filter, and I have one here as a template. And in the past, we just made really a simple toggle to really hide and show those templates, so it's easier to filter them out. There's also another list here that's available by default, which is your template project. So this one is going to list all your template project. So if this is just to simplify the life of people when they with easily toggle option that we introduce pretty much everywhere. And the next one is that if you hit F1 on your keyboard, it's going to bring that help pop-up. And then you can follow all the different shortcuts that we have, including the workspace grid keyboard shortcut, the task side panel. And then if you add to move tasks together, you could select multiple line and move it just with the drag and drop. But this is a small improvement for getting help based on standard F1 help. F1 trigger helps pretty much everywhere, just following the same standard.
Yay.
Okay, another exciting topic. QuickBooks Sync, purchase record sync. Okay, we continue to expand on our bridge, our accounting bridge. And now we've synced back for some of our customer. They've been asking this to be able to get from QuickBooks the purchase record. And a purchase record could be a credit card that you've received in QuickBooks. So this doesn't originate from something you bought in Client or in Salesforce. It's something that your bank and your QuickBooks would know. So trying to bring back those expenses so you can then assign them to your project so you can count for their costs. So that's the goal of this purchase record thing. In the integration setting page, you have two new checkbox. So get expense from purchase and sync receipt file with QuickBooks. So those two are new in regards of this release. And the concept is that, like I said, let's say you have in QuickBooks a credit card line with some amount. This can be done automatically. There's an initial setup, but after that, it can be done automatically. It can gather all your expenses, and it's just going to create an expense record object in client, the same expense record. And there's a new field here that's the accounting system purchase ID. So that's going to map to that specific link in QuickBooks. And just like that, the information is going to come back, and then you can do whatever you want with it if you want to associate it to a project. And if you want to get the files as well, it's going to be the same thing. You just need to enable the checkbox on the configuration I showed you just before.
Perfect.
Simple enough. Then do a live demo.
And all this is in the release notes as well. So yeah. All right, so that was kind of our main features there. We also have all of these are like less notable improvements and fixes. We won't go through all of them, but we've kind of ordered them in a logical way, so you can have a look at that afterwards. And let's move to our ideas, voting, and roadmap. So as always, your ideas are helping us develop our roadmap. A lot of the ideas we just presented were all coming from feedback. Actually, I think most of them, the majority, and in our upcoming releases as well. This month, we retained one idea, which is enhanced project visibility in Resource Planner. So that was quite a popular one, as you can see on the screen. So this one will be added to the roadmap. And I don't know, Yannick, if you have some more details on that one.
It's the resource planner. We've improved it, but there's another layer that's quite often interesting. So let's say you have a resource, but you want to see other roles availability under that specific you could switch right from there. So we're gonna add more into this. So we can look at the description here. It's gonna be very similar to the description, but there's gonna be some added functionality as well. But the idea is to be able to consume in the resource planner, seeing one assignment, but then maybe seeing other people to see if we can swap them or assign them right from there. So this is what we've been working a little bit on, and I think with the proof of concept we saw, it's good enough that now we can put it in the roadmap and be confident that we can develop something very cool for our customers.
Perfect. And yeah, you can log into our community, upvote these, and please continue to send your feature requests to our support team. I saw an example, Marjorie was saying that, you know, this Transpose project is going to save her 1 hour for our whole team. That's great. If there's other things that you're doing on your day-to-day that is taking you way too much time, maybe it's time to just log a feature request, tell us how we can like shorten that for you. But yeah, just keep sending those. And then let's have a look at our roadmap of what's coming up. Yeah, so we have a couple of things coming up for timesheet, workspace, resource planning. Next release should be November 21st. And then we'll have our webinar about 2 weeks after that. So what's coming, really exciting. I know Yannick is really into that one. The first one, the Jira app. Anyone that's using Jira, watch out for this one. We'll talk about it on our next webinar.
I'm excited, but I still want our people to only work in client. But
yes, it's kind of a
mixed feeling about it. But yes, it's exciting and an exciting application.
Yeah, the mass update fields in Workspace, we've talked about a couple of releases. Hopefully it's coming on the next one. Presets in my timesheet and my deadline. So presets are great. Why not spread them around in all our interfaces? QuickBooks bill sync to expense. We also have a resource planner. When you're filtering your resource planner, it's hard to know what you're filtering right now, what you're looking at. So just more visibility on that. And we're having as well the timesheet split spanning 2 months. So this was a winning idea that we're finally delivering on the next release.
Finally, but we've picked it in the last webinar. It's
no,
pretty
I
much
mean,
it's already ready.
I mean, it's been on the top of the votes for a while. Then we pick it up, and the next release we've released it.
The development went very well. I've been following it up. The development is going very well on this one. So yeah, it should be released in the next one.
Yay. And then there's a couple more things coming up. You see our last release is planned for like New Year's Eve or something like that. So there's a couple of cool things coming up that have been there for a little while, but the Outlook thing that we were mentioning earlier. So before the end of the year. Yay.
When new skins for the workspace. So, we're trying to get some teaming as well in the workspace. So we shall see.
All right, Yannick, passing you the ball.
Well, yes. So I was saying that we made a great trip. So we're back. It was already 2 weeks ago. We went to Dreamforce for a week. So it's the biggest Salesforce event. And then we went to TSIA, which is the biggest professional service event in Vegas. We did more than just go see Metallica. We decided Metallica versus Benson Boone, but we've learned a lot. That was very inspiring. The AI is real this year. We can really do a ton. They showed us Salesforce Vibe. So now there's a new interface that you have some credit for free that you could, for example, ask him to develop the flow that we just talked about, and it would develop the flow automatically with that prompt. So this is Salesforce Vibe. So there's a ton of new stuff that came in. In TSIA, we had a booth. It was great attendance, but we learned a lot as well. And the professional service is changing, right? So AI is changing everything. So now flows that used to take us hours to develop with Salesforce Vibe, it's going to take us 5 minutes to develop. So we need to realign. And this is as well where we launched our AI initiatives and where we launched our new messaging, which is the new era of services where humans will lead, but agents will deliver. So this is really where we're going, and we're putting. You've seen it in our latest webinar. We are all in on AI, and where we are at in terms of deploying that AI. And this is a process for us to really learn, try things out, but also share with you. So even if it's not ready, I think we're all in this together. It's all new stuff. Nothing has the truth, the absolute truth. So we need to experiment, and I like to be share. I like to share and being transparent. So I want to share with you. Please do the same with us if you experimenting stuff. And this is our roadmap. So we've talked about it a little before, but we are using AI to develop our software. Rosalie is going to talk about us, our new customer support agent we just released. We are currently developing awesome agents, and one that we're currently developing, it's an agent. It's a discovery agent that's listening to a recording of a call, package or a project, create a project with a word breakdown structure based on the discovery of the call. So this is one of the agent that I saw a demo this week. And where we're going is that we're gonna have a hybrid human and agent delivery. So we're gonna assign agent and human on task to eventually go to that autonomous project delivery, which is a goal for us in 2026. So and the technology is ready now. Salesforce has some really cool stuff, and we have something exciting to announce as well, Rosalie. A new
Yay!
member to
So
our
yeah,
team.
speaking of AI, we're entering and that's the era where human leads, agent delivers. So we want to keep you informed on everything we're doing. This is the first thing we're doing, official thing. So we have Clara, our new AI agent, and Clara stands for Client Live Assistance and Response Agent. So, but we treat
Very
her
catchy.
as one of our colleagues. So she's built right into client. She's ready to help you find your answers faster when you need them. So you see, when you logged in the community, you see the little chat icon at the bottom right. So when you're logged in the community, you can just click on it, start a conversation. She can help answer your questions about client, guide you through different features. Hopefully she saves you time searching through our documentation. Don't worry, you can still reach out to our customer success or support team anytime. We're not going anywhere. Clara hopefully just gives you a little faster help. A few quick things to know, like any AI, she can make mistakes. So think of her as your helper, but she's not like the absolute source of truth. So disclaimer, I think all the agents do that. Your chat history is going to stay active when you're in a session, but it's going to reset if you log out and come back in. And then last thing, very important, we would love to get your feedback. So she's in training. This is her very second day. So please share your feedback, how we can make her better and be more helpful to you. If anyone on your team wants to use Clara and doesn't have community login, just send us a message. We'll create the login for you. And in the meantime, we're just curious to know, I'm curious to know, we're all curious to know, will you give Clara a try after today's webinar? So we want to know if you will. And then what kind of questions are you looking to ask Clara first? So if you can take a few seconds and just let us know that. So we're curious. And then again, like we're very much in a continuous development mood internally. So we'll be looking at feedback every day and trying to improve her and make her even better. And I think, Yannick, you've tried something, right?
It takes a little bit of time, but it gave us a great response. So how to configure Google Calendar for my timesheet. So here the description, it even linked to the release note. This is what I was showing in the background.
Nice.
The cool thing is that it gives you a confidence level as well. So we don't want our agent to hallucinate or make up some stuff. So we're trying that as a confidence level. So be aware of that confidence level when she's answering. We know that she doesn't understand everything and she doesn't like give me the coolest stuff in the latest release. She will still struggling. So it's like, what's the analogy you gave us? It's like not a toddler, but an intern, yeah. It's
Intern,
like
but she's very motivated to learn and she's very eager, but she's not like at level just yet.
we still need to train her a little bit.
Yeah.
So every day we're gonna be training her. But having your feedback in terms of if it works in terms of what she gave you, and what didn't work, we're interested in both. So please just write to support. We're trying to have like this is based on Agentforce, so this is based on the Salesforce technology. There's still functionality that we haven't used, like the feedback is not properly there yet, but we want to have like a thumbs up, thumbs down. So we're gonna also continue improving. The goal is to help with support, but also to help with adoption. How can I introduce surveys to my team, or what is needed to configure those surveys? So all of this is going to be what Clara is going to be able to help you out with. So please give it a try. Tell us what you think.
Perfect. Yeah, and I see already people are chatting about the the agents. So yeah, anything you want to share, feedback, anything, you can just email us afterwards. Or I mean, I talk to you on calls. We all talk to you on calls. So informal feedback is also great. This kind of wraps up our version 50.8 webinar. That was a shorter one. Great. You get time back. As always, we're just curious to get feedback on the webinar. So how engaging it was, what do you enjoy most, and how we can make the webinar better. As always, we're going to send you a follow-up email with the recording, presentation slide, summary, etc. Be sure to register to our last webinar of the year, December 11th. Again, we're going to have really fun things to showcase, like you saw in our roadmap. So we'll see you there. Yannick, did you want to add anything else?
No, we're gonna keep you appraised as well of our progress on AI. So every week we have new stuff. So we're gonna keep you updated.
Perfect. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.